What if the future of global energy security isn't decided in oil fields or solar farms, but in your driveway? Welcome back to Econ Barbarian, where we break down the industries shaping tomorrow's economy, without the corporate sugarcoating. Today, we're talking about electric vehicles, but not in the way you've heard 1,000 times. This isn't just about car sales or charging stations. This is about EVs as an integral part of the global energy network, the shifting geopolitics of battery minerals, and a technological arms race that's reshaping the auto industry itself. By the end of this video, you'll see why the EV transition is less about cars, and more about who controls the future of power. As of mid-2025, with over 9 million EVs sold globally in the first half alone, the stakes have never been higher. 1. From cars to the energy grid. In 2025, the EV industry is no longer just a transportation story. It's an energy infrastructure story. The rise of vehicle-to-grid (V2G) technology means EVs can serve as mobile energy storage units, feeding electricity back to the grid during peak demand and storing surplus power during off-peak hours. With over 20 million EVs expected to be sold globally in 2025, accounting for roughly 25% of all new car sales, this mobile battery network is becoming impossible for energy planners to ignore. Recent reports highlight V2G's potential to stabilize grids amid rising renewable integration, with the U.S. market outlook projecting significant growth driven by mandates and utility incentives. In fact, bidirectional chargers are gaining traction, enabling EV owners to cut power bills while supporting grid resilience. This isn't just about reducing oil consumption, it's about rebalancing the entire energy system, potentially turning fleets into virtual power plants. 2. The geopolitics of batteries. If oil shaped the 20th century's geopolitics, battery minerals will shape the 21st. Lithium, cobalt, nickel, and rare earths aren't just commodities, they're strategic assets. China currently controls around 70% of the world's lithium refining capacity. The so-called lithium triangle of Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile holds over half of known global reserves, and Argentina is poised to overtake Chile as the world's second-largest producer. Supply tightness is already a 2025 theme. Lithium market surpluses have shrunk to just 10,000 tons, down from comfortable margins in 2023. Recent mine suspensions in China, like CATL's Jianxiawo, have sparked price surges, narrowing the surplus further. In other words, we may be heading for a battery OPEC moment, where a small group of nations holds disproportionate power over the EV future. With volatility rising from trade tensions and oversupply pressures, diversified supply chains are critical. 3. The technology curve. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Battery tech is evolving faster than most forecasts predicted. Silicon composite anodes are boosting energy density by 20% and cutting charging times by up to 40%. Lithium-sulfur batteries are moving from lab to commercialization, with acquisitions like Lyten buying bankrupt Northvolt assets to scale production. Solid-state batteries and sodium-ion chemistries are set to challenge conventional lithium-ion, especially in cost-sensitive markets. Advancements in solid-state sodium batteries focus on electrochemical performance, with CATL's Naxtra breakthrough enabling mass production. The global battery market is projected to grow from 700 gigawatt-hours in 2022 to 4.7 terawatt-hours by 2030. And the winners won't just be the cheapest producers. They'll be the ones who scale the right chemistry first. Events like the 2025 Solid-State Battery Summit underscore ongoing R&D in safer, higher-density options. 4. The EV industry scoreboard. Tesla, the fading first mover. Tesla remains a major player, but the days of unchallenged dominance are over. Global market share slipped to 17.6% in 2024. U.S. share fell from 51% to 44% in 2025, with sales down 8.6%. European sales in Q1 2025 dropped by over 30%. In Q2 2025, deliveries hit 384,000 vehicles, up from Q1's 336,700 but down 13% year-over-year. Tesla's brand is still strong, but competitors are eating into its market with better local pricing, diversified product lines, and domestic manufacturing in key regions. BYD, the relentless climber. BYD's rise is nothing short of historic. 4.27 million units sold in 2024, up 41% year-on-year. First half of 2025 to 2.14 million units, up 33% year-over-year. In June 2025, BYD held 31.7% of China's NEV market, compared to Tesla's 5.5%. Overseas sales target for 2025 to 800,000 units, with a total goal of 5.5 million. Its vertical integration, from battery production to vehicle assembly, gives it unmatched cost control, enabling aggressive pricing while maintaining margins. July production dips signal expansion adjustments, but EV sales continue to grow. Volkswagen Group, the global challenger. Volkswagen is quietly building a formidable EV footprint outside China. January to April 2025 to 374,000 BEVs sold outside China, overtaking Tesla in those markets. Global EV share now around 5.9%, with ambitions to double by 2030. First half of 2025 to 465,500 BEVs delivered, up 47% year-over-year. VW's strategy leans heavily on leveraging its global manufacturing network and targeting mid-market segments that Tesla has largely abandoned, with strong growth in Europe and the US. 5. Business models in transition. EV companies are discovering that the real money may not be in selling the car itself. Software, over-the-air upgrades, autonomous driving packages, and data monetization are becoming major profit centers. Some analysts believe the industry will follow the smartphone model. Sell the hardware at slim margins, then make the real profit on software and services. And with V2G capabilities, automakers could even sell energy services, turning your car into a grid asset and taking a cut of the revenue. As adoption accelerates, V2G markets are forecasted to reach $109.94 billion by 2033, driven by bidirectional energy exchange. 6. The global split. The EV transition isn't moving at the same pace everywhere. China, approaching 50% EV penetration in new car sales. Domestic giants dominate, with 5.5 million sold in the first half. US and Europe. Growth slowing due to subsidy rollbacks and infrastructure bottlenecks, though Europe hit 2 million in H1. Emerging markets, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and parts of Africa are showing explosive growth from a low base, with local assembly plants becoming a competitive differentiator. Whoever captures these new growth markets could lock in decades of dominance, especially as global sales grow 27% in the first 7 months. 7. Scenarios for the next decade. 1. Energy integration. EVs become central to grid stability, with automakers acting as energy companies, bolstered by V2G forums and policies. 2. Tech disruption. New battery chemistries shift the cost curve, forcing a reshuffle of the leaderboard, with sodium-ion complementing lithium. 3. Geo-economic realignment. Control of raw materials becomes the defining factor in global automotive power, amid tightening lithium supplies. The EV race in 2025 isn't just about who sells the most cars. It's about who controls the most valuable parts of the chain, from the minerals in the ground, to the chemistry of the battery, to the data flowing from every vehicle on the road. Tesla, BYD, Volkswagen, each represents a different strategy for winning that race. But in the end, the companies that master both the energy game and the technology curve will be the ones still leading when the dust settles. With projections eyeing 22 million units by year-end, the arms race is intensifying. Stay curious, stay sharp.